Hey everybody, welcome to Late Night with Tania. I'm Tania Shipman from Simple Solutions Today and Business Automation 101. Keeping it simple. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I have talked to so many people about using business automation, and the main thing I find people run into is that they think it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time. It really doesn't. But you have to know what you want to do, and you want to keep it simple because simple means less possibilities for things breaking down. There are so many free products available. There are so many ways that you can automate your business, that you can make your business more productive, that you can do more with less because of keeping it simple. Choose one thing that needs to be automated and find the simplest way of doing it. Making things complicated leads to making things break. I have often been talking to people about it does this, if this happens, and then nothing else happens, something else happens, and then the more processes you have between a result leads to more possibilities for breakdown. So keep it simple. If you want to share your Facebook posts to your website, use something that's free and simple like IFTTT. It does all the automations, it sets it all up for you, and then it works every time after that. If you need to have anything happen in your business, find the simplest ways of making it happen rather than the most complicated. I have some automations that use 2 or 3 different software, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. The reason I do complicated may be because that's the only way I can get the result I want. And what that then means is that I'm continually out there looking for a simpler way to do this. But I have seen people who have created the most convoluted, complex, annoying, frustrating, depending on other people, ways of getting things done, rather than looking for a simple way of doing it. One of the examples I give to people is there was a process that needed to be done, which would have meant getting 3 different people going through, entering in at different times this information, and each person needed to do it within a really short time frame. So you were depending on people who had other responsibilities and other time constraints and different priorities to you, who would take that process and put it to the bottom of the pile. But for the person who needed it to be done, it was one of their top priorities. They spent a lot of time writing up processes and how to do it and what you must do, and then showed it to me. And I said, this won't get done. But it's all detailed and it's all set out. And I said, yes, it is. And you've done a great job doing that. But you're depending on 3 people who won't give it the priority that you want. Well, it is really important, was the reply. And yes, it was. But for the 3 people who were going to have to do this process, it wasn't a priority. So they would get the paperwork, they would put it on a desk, and they would look at it only when the other person came chasing for them to do it. And then again, it wouldn't be a priority. So I talked to the manager and to the person who was organizing this, and I said, why don't you do it? Oh, because it would take up too much time. I said, so how much time would you be spending chasing the other people to do it, them telling you they'd lost the instructions, you finding the instructions, sending it to them, telling them to do it, finding out they haven't done it, chasing them again, going through this process, during which time you had major time constraints. It was much simpler for her to do it. She got the 3 people involved to sign off and say that, yes, this was okay to be paid, and then she went and entered it into the system. It saved her frustration with the other 3 people not doing things. It saved the other 3 people frustration because she kept asking them to do this thing, which they didn't consider a priority. And it meant that as soon as it hit her desk, it was done. She wasn't worrying. Hey, Pepe, nice to see you join in. It's about keeping it simple. Stop trying to complicate things. Stop trying to make other people responsible who you know won't do it. Then spend time being frustrated with them. If you need to get YouTube shared, your Facebook Live shared to YouTube, I've gone through 2 different processes now, actually 3 different processes to now what is the simple process for me, where I pay a monthly fee and all of my videos, every single video I do, whether into my Facebook group, onto my page, or to my timeline like this one, automatically gets uploaded to YouTube. Now, some of them go up as private or unlisted because I don't want them to be available to everybody, but the majority of my Facebook Lives are public for everybody to look at. But to get there, I had to go through 2 or 3 different processes where I was using 2 or 3 different software. I've now found one that does it all for me. So I use that. But I had to wait until I could find somebody who could tell me about it. And that's part of keeping it simple. Find out and ask other people, what are you doing? How do you do your service so easily? How do you save time? How are you more productive than I am? And nearly always you'll find out that it's a process, a software, a system that they have that means that where it takes you 3 times as long to do something, they can do it in 1/3 of the time because they have a process that they keep it and have it as simple as possible. Every complication you put into any process leads to potentials for things to break down. If I have to pass a piece of paper to somebody who lives 2 blocks over from me and I have to give it to each neighbour to pass along, we all know that at some stage it'll get to a neighbour and they'll put it in their pocket or they'll put it in their house or they'll leave it in their car and it won't get passed on. If I want to get something from my house to somebody who lives 3 blocks away, I post it because it goes into the mailbox, they sort it, and they deliver it. It all stays with the one process. That's about keeping it simple. Stop trying to complicate what you want to do and start looking at how you can simplify and keep it as simple as possible. There's just a few examples of how I and other people have simplified their business. If you're interested in finding out how easily you can do it, comment down below or come and join my group, Business Automation 101, and ask the questions in there. I hope that you do ask me some questions about simplifying your business because it makes your business so much more productive when you take out all of these time-consuming steps. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you like it, share it with people that you think could use it. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm Tania Shipman from Simple Solutions Today and Business Automation 101. And this was Late Night with Tania. See you all in my next video. Bye.